Okay, so today we're talking about what we would like to see in the future for Star Wars. So to start off with, we've heard about the rumors of potentially a what if series for Star Wars, much like the one that they did for Marvel. So we just thought we'd have a few ideas about that.
The thing with this what if for Star Wars, this could either be a really good idea, very bad idea.
Yeah.
One or two things is going to happen. It could actually potentially, I reckon, a mixture of both. Something that I think that I'd like to see is, say, they do a whole story, whether it would have to be a good season or two of, say, like a young person joining up in the Empire, in like the military aspects of the Empire, not like administration and shit like that. Because
the Admiralty, yeah.
like the Admiralty, like no one wants to watch a fucking entire series about admin because
Politics.
like the politics I can live with. Admin though, doing paperwork, pretty sure you would blow your brains out. And I don't mean the person in the show, you mean you as the viewer. So like them joining, say, like the military, like the Admiralty aspect of the Empire, but working their way up.
So like through basic training all the way up.
Yeah, kind of like what you would have in real life. Like you go in, say, as a private, and you work your way all the way up to like general.
Yeah.
But obviously, because it's Star Wars, it would be going. I guess it's still a private rank. That's never really established in Star Wars.
The problem is that a lot of the officers that you have in the Empire were all admirals before because the Republic didn't have a standing army, did it?
No. I mean, like, we're talking going in right at the very bottom.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's hard to determine if they'd still have privates because until they actually created stormtroopers, they didn't have military ranks.
Let's say we'll go in as, or is there? Because don't they mention, doesn't like Rex call one of them private in the Clone Wars in the animated series?
You mean his the new clones? Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll stick with it like that. But obviously, the person's not going to be a clone. It's just going to be.
Well, it would be in the Empire time, so he'd be training to be a stormtrooper. I would suspect, unless he showed that he was good at leadership, and then he might get Admiralty instead.
Yeah, so kind of like like the way you've got Grand Moff Tarkin, he's an admiral.
Yeah.
But obviously he's not a stormtrooper. Obviously he's not a clone either. Then you've got Grand Admiral Thrawn. Something like that. So you go in right at the very bottom. So you're a brand new recruit, and you work your way. Probably not to like the level of Grand Admiral because. Only fucking few select people are ever going to get to Grand Admiral. Wasn't the only one.
I mean, they might get to like captain or sergeant, maybe.
Let's say it's going to be, obviously with time skips, them going from like recruit to admiral. Let's say Grand Admiral. How many has there been? I can only think of Thrawn.
Yeah.
Isn't he
the problem is that it's hard to determine which ones are Grand Admirals because remember they restructured the way that places were governed in the very first movie, didn't they?
Well,
they eliminated the
Well, the ones that have basically got like the most colours on the shirts, that's kind of like your Grand Admiral, because like Thrawn has a lot of squares.
Yeah. But it's obviously the problem with it is that, as you said, Tarkin was an admiral first. But then when we're finally introduced to him, when we see him in the movies, he's already a Moff.
Yeah.
And that's because they disbanded the Senate. So they then assumed the Moff roles.
Yeah.
So I would say before that, he probably would have been a Grand Admiral.
Moff Tarkin?
Tarkin, yeah.
I mean,
I would say he was either an admiral or he was a Grand Admiral before he became Moff. I would say.
I'd say he's probably more than likely admiral. Yeah, he might have been Grand Admiral, but I don't know that. I think that Grand Admiral rank, it might. I could be wrong on this, but wasn't that kind of basically created and given solely to Thrawn because of his sheer genius?
I think that's kind of how it's shown in the Legends continuity. Yes, I'm not sure if it's the same in canon though.
Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, it is in canon that the Grand Admiral rank was solely created for Thrawn because of strategically he was a genius.
Probably because he couldn't be a Moff because of the racism in the Empire.
Well, but Vader.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Vader, I think would be like, yeah, well, I'm the right hand to the Emperor.
And I can do what I want, yeah.
I mean, it's true, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants in the Emperor. Even though the Emperor does get pissed off with Vader, he's like, I'm not going to do nothing to him because there's no one to challenge him.
There's no one powerful enough to be his apprentice aside from him until Luke shows up, yeah, so.
But there's no one that they've managed to recruit that's powerful enough to challenge Vader.
No.
To displace him as the right hand and the second in command, basically, of the entire Empire. He's basically the enforcer of the Empire. You say, like, oh, we're not going to give in to the demands of the Emperor, and the Emperor's like, alright, gonna send in Vader. So it's like, you're going to give him the 501st? No, I'm just sending him by himself. And what's going to make him twice as angry is your planet's full of sand. So I'm gonna make him even more pissed off. Oh, and the person that he's going to capture has a slight resemblance to Padme, just to piss him off even more and send him through an emotional hell, which will make him tap into the dark side even more, and you're all fucked.
Oh yes, emotional damage is always good.
What, when it comes to Vader? Fuck yes. If putting Vader through sheer hell and visual torture to make him more powerful so he can fuck shit up, I'm all for it. Do I agree with it in reality? No, but it's Vader, so I think we can make an exception. But I think that's what I'd like to see, is someone go right in young, like they see the Empire and all its propaganda bollocks. It's, oh, the Empire is so fucking great, we're here to save the world, hooray, long live the Empire.
It's like, oh, they're going to offer me a job so I can actually feed my family, which is kind of why they get people to join in.
Obviously, the person in question is going to be poor.
Yeah, always. It's always going to be.
You're not going to have some like rich dickhead who'll be like, oh, I'm going to join the Empire, because they'll be like, why, you're going to be a fucking senator? What's wrong with you? but senators don't really literally mean fuck all in the Empire, because Palpatine does what he wants, and there's fucking nothing you can do to stop him. You can create a combined military, but because obviously movie bollocks, they win. In reality, Palpatine would have fucked all this shit up. Let's not beat around the bush. In reality, their galactic fucking resistance would have been obliterated by a fucking powerful... If Palpatine was like, alright, I'm going to take this fucking fight serious, he would wreck shit. I'm sorry, but
the only reason why they won is because he didn't take them seriously.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason.
He thought, yeah, alright, you're never going to be able to fucking beat me, I'm the Emperor. I'm like the true Dark Lord of the Sith, you're never going to be able to fucking challenge me. Oh, wait. You did.
Oh shit, Vader turned on me.
Oh shit. The one guy I was been relying on, who I've kind of ruined his entire fucking life, has
just remembered that I ruined his entire life.
Has basically remembered, like, oh yeah, you're an old cunt. I'm gonna throw you fucking down the shaft. Turns out, no, he's not dead because he's so fucking angry and he's so old. He's kind of like that old, like an old relative that you have that just sits there and is like, I'm going to punish you all for what you have done for me, younglings. And it's like, fuck you, you're old child.
He's like Mr. Burns, he feeds on hate.
He does. It's like and the more hatred he gets, the more pissy he gets. It's not like, oh, but he becomes more powerful. No, he just literally becomes more pissy. So it's like, oh, the Skywalkers. And it's like, yeah, dude, we know you have this weird sexual fetish thing with the fucking Skywalkers. Like, you're obsessed with them. I've got to eliminate the Skywalkers. It's like, what the fuck have they done to you? You're literally the reason why they're so pissed off. You ruined Anakin. You're the reason why he has this unhealthy obsession with the Skywalkers, but it's all his fucking fault.
Yeah.
It's literally the reason why you're so fucking miserable is because you've done it to yourself, you silly old cunt. Did you fucking forget that? It's your fucking fault.
Yeah, but you gotta remember the villain is always the hero of his own story. You know that.
Bollocks. Palpatine isn't a hero. He
To
literally...
himself, he is.
Fucking my ass he is. He fucking done it to himself. He can only... You know, there's like, oh, I've got to get rid of the Skywalkers. And it's like... But you created this. You're the monster. Because it was like, Anakin's only the way he is because of you. Luke's Luke because what you've done to his dad. When he finds out. It's like, so you're the reason why I've had basically a shit childhood. It's because you took my fucking father away from me and basically took my mother away from me as well. Thanks.
And then murdered his aunt.
It was literally like, oh yeah, and then you murdered my aunt and uncle. Thanks, you're a fucking dick. No other reason is you're a dick.
And also, because don't forget, before he joined the Resistance, Luke wanted to join the pilot school for the Empire, didn't he?
Yes.
That would actually be an interesting what if story, I think. If he actually did do it.
Okay, so going over from what we originally spoke about, where someone goes in, joins, say, like the academy from a young age, and then working their way up, obviously with time skips.
Yeah.
Until they, not going on to like the political aspect where you become like a moth and start getting to that realm. Just literally, they just stay in the military and like, I'm Admiral, fuck everyone else, I can do what I want.
Career military man, you basically.
Yes, like, yeah, pure career military until he potentially makes...
Dies on the Death Star.
I mean, it's either going to be one of two things. He's either going to die on a Death Star or he's going to be like...
Die on the second Death Star.
He's going to be in like a crucial fucking massive battle and it's all going to go tits up and then he's then got to answer to Vader. So it's like, oh, I'm an Admiral. I've got like 40 years fucking experience. Oh,
wouldn't it be funny if this guy that we're following turns out to be the Admiral that Darth Vader chokes to death and then makes the next guy captain?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. So it's like, you have failed me for the last time, Admiral. It's like, oh, thanks.
Congratulations on your promotion, Captain.
So it's like, oh, congratulations, Captain, you're now Admiral. It's like, no, I don't want, no, I'm good. Like, anyone else want to take this fucking job?
I think that would be a really good, funny twist at the end as well.
And so it's like, oh yeah, it's like, congratulations, Captain, you're now Admiral. It's like, yeah, can I be demoted, please? It's like, can I just be demoted? Like, I'm up for going on the fucking front lines. Can I just be a sergeant, please? So it's like, no, I promoted you. Can you demote me? No, but I can fucking behead you. It's like, okay, I'll accept the role then. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you dare fucking question me, Admiral. It's like, no, Lord Vader, I will never question you, asshole. It's like, I will never question you, you fucking pissy old cunt. Fucking burny little bitch. And it's like, oh, Vader, I got so fucking angry because I was burnt alive. I'm so fucking touchy. I don't like sand. Oh, that would be so fucking funny if, like, secretly behind closed doors they're all mocking fucking Vader. Like, those
you mean like they showed in Robot Chicken where they
yes. Yes.
That'd be great.
They're like, oh, I'm Darth Vader, I'm gonna choke you. Oh, I don't like sand.
Exactly like they do in Robot Chicken and Saturday Night Live of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it's just, they're pure just taking the piss out of Vader. It's like you have like a group of, say, admirals just getting together as, like, in their, I don't know, admiral office or fucking dinner room or whatever. Oh, I'm Darth Vader, I'm going to choke you. So it's like, oh, I lost my fucking wife. Oh, she died. Oh, boo-hoo. I sound like I've got asthma. Oh, I do everything that fucking Palpatine says to me because he saved my life because I couldn't fucking beat my own master. I'm such a little bitch. And then like he's there continuing on, and the next thing you know, Vader's behind. Vader just appears out of nowhere, and it's like, what was that, Admiral? And he's there looking like, he's behind me, isn't he? It's like, did you not hear the breathing? It's like, no, I didn't. It's like, you're serious. You didn't hear. You didn't hear the clanking of his fucking mechanic. No. It's like, yeah, he's going to. And he's picked you up with the Force, and he's battered you against the wall. Never mind. You know, kind of like...
Who's next in the chain of command?
Do you remember when the Hulk slammed Loki backwards and forwards?
Yeah.
And he calls him a puny god. Vader's going to do that to the Admiral, but just using the Force. He's just going to bounce him off iron walls and it's like, puny Admiral. I'm Vader. But yeah, someone that goes in pure military career.
Yeah.
Pure military career aspect. And like they have like a long service until it's either going to be they die on one of the Death Stars or Vader kills them.
Yeah.
Because he's probably going to fuck something up, get a shit ton of people killed, and then he's going to have to explain everything to Vader. It's roughly usually how admirals go in the Empire.
Apology accepted. Next step.
It's there as time, you have failed me for the last time, Admiral. And it's like, well, next. And it's like, oh, hello, Captain. Congratulations, you're on your promotion to Admiral. So it's like, oh, fucking hell. You know, that's the thing is, everyone else looking around the room is like, shit, is there actually a succession to this shit? Fuck, who's next? And you just see other people like, yeah, please don't.
Not how I wanted to get that promotion, but okay.
Like, yeah, I wanted to be Admiral, but
not that way.
If it means I have to potentially answer the Vader, yeah, no, I'm good. There's like, might hand in my resignation. Fuck this. There's like, can I just go off somewhere and live on like some remote planet and just become like, I don't know, like local governor to some fucking planet that's like friendly to the Empire?
Yeah, we see how that works out for most people.
I mean, it doesn't really work out, but if it means that you don't have to directly answer to Vader, I think I'd accept that.
Yeah.
You know, you'll just become, I don't know, a governor of a fucking planet. You know, kind of...
Governor Price.
Oh.
On low fall.
No, what's the guy's name in The Mandalorian? Carl Weathers played him.
Grief? Was it Grief Cargo?
I think so. Kind of like that. Or as you say, Governor Price is like, look, I'm just going to go off. I'm resigning from the military. I got the captain. Don't really fancy fucking getting promoted by Vader immediately. And then probably dying a week later due to me fucking something up and him choking me out. Not in a way that you would probably want to be choked, but, you know, because you're going to be weird like that. Because
hey, no kink shaming.
People on the internet are weird, so I'm kind of kink shaming. I guarantee you now. I am just going to go off topic on this. I would fucking put good money on there is someone out there that wants to be choked by Vader.
You know what I'd find even funnier, right? Is if Darth Vader actually met someone like that and how confused he would be.
There's like, I'm going to choke you out.
Harder.
The person's there, choke me, Vader. And he's like, hold on a second, what the fuck's going on here? You know, like when you have them people there, it's like, oh, you know, choke me, mummy. It's like, choke me. Vader's like, oh, wait. And he just lets you go. It's like, hold on a second.
Hold up.
What the fuck is going on here? There's like, you getting some gratification from this? There's like, maybe? And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to continue to choke me, Vader. It's like, no.
Get the probe droid.
There's like, going to get the probe droid. But the problem is the person would then do something just to fucking piss him off so they can get choked by him. But the problem is he won't. He'll just cut you in half with a saber. Which is not going to be...
We can replace your body parts. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, there is fucking someone out on this planet that would be like, yeah, I'd want to be force choked by Vader because it would be quite kinky. It's like, it would, but it's not going to be a good time. I'm almost certain. Okay, there is a chance because you're weird like that and you're wired different that you might get an erection. It's probably not going to be a good idea. Yep, if you live, alright, I'm not sure you're going to be able to get to climax because Vader. I mean, if there's any woman out there that also wants to be choked by Vader, I mean, you know, I am kind of kink shaming you because it's weird.
Stop it.
There's like, choke me, Vader. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to stop. but then there's got to be someone who, I know this is going to be wrong. Guaranteed there's someone out there that wants to be hit by Force Lightning by Palpatine.
Probably.
But it's like, but he's so old and wrinkly. It'd be like getting fucking electrocuted by like your granddad. Or like your best mate's granddad. Who's not sure how old he is, but he's old. It's creepy. Like, you've got to remember, like, Palpatine's done stuff that we don't really need to talk about because it's gross. It's like when you find out, it's like, oh yeah, Palpatine
made his own kid.
It's like he has kids. It's like, I'm sorry, who done this? Who the fuck done this? Who the fuck are you people that's gonna go out there and procreate with Palpatine? Look at him.
No, he makes his own.
It's like, yeah, but he created him
in a test tube.
It's like, but he test tubed. It's like, okay, at least there isn't someone out there that had sex with fucking Palpatine because his face looks like your granddad's ballsack. And look at him. He's so fucking old. His face is so fucked up. And you have to think about it, Darren goes, there is some woman out there that's been impregnated by Palpatine. Just think about that.
I don't want to.
Like, his face was deformed. And it's like, look at him. There is someone out there that got penetrated by Palpatine.
And not with a lightsaber.
I've completely gone off topic here. And I've somehow ended up talking about someone getting penetrated by a fucking head. How have I gone off? I'm only fucking like 15 minutes. Okay, we're at 20 minutes now, but fucking 15 minutes into this and I went off topic and someone getting penetrated.
So quickly.
This went so fucking off topic so quick. I've really ruined this, haven't I?
No.
You will feel the power of the dark side. Fucking hell.
Someone ordered the wrong Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. Do it. Make me suffer. Oh, we are going to have...
Palpatine is into BDSM. Confirmed.
Palpatine's a fucking freak. Do it, my friend. You shall give in to my temptations. You will enjoy it. We are going to do it. Oh, that's it. Teach Palpatine a lesson. This has gone so fucking wrong. And we've gone from a what if to what if someone got penetrated by Palpatine. I'm 99% sure Disney's never going to do this.
No.
However, Pornhub will. Whatever Disney doesn't do, Pornhub will do the complete opposite.
It's the internet. Rule 34 is king.
Oh God, totally forgot about that. Someone's already done that then.
Yeah, they probably have.
Yeah.
And if they haven't, they will.
If they haven't, if they're like, if you guys been slacking, what's going on, internet? How the fuck have you not got something of someone getting... how is there not a fucking whole story of someone meeting, falling in love and just getting penetrated by Palpatine?
That's Rule 35. If it doesn't exist yet, it will.
It will. It fucking will now. And now that we've discussed it, someone is going to get it where it's like, yeah, what happened? Got penetrated by Palpatine. How was it? Wrong. Wrong. On how many levels? All of them.
He has abilities that some would consider unnatural.
Oh my god, that's so fucking wrong. This is wrong. This is bad. Oh no. What? Okay, we need to get back on topic. What can you give me? Everything.
It's turned into 50 Shades of Palpatine.
Oh my god. I will give. Seriously, what can you give me? I will give you all the Sith. Feel the power of the dark side, my friend. Oh, do it. I will give you everything. Together we shall rule the bedroom. Oh, okay, we gotta stop. This is getting fucking out of hand. We're creating like a whole porn scenario with Palpatine. I don't like it. I think I need a fucking adult. The problem is there are no adults here. It's just us. This is bad.
Right, let's get back to the topic.
You did mention something else earlier, but I've totally forgot about it because I'm going on my Rule 34 fan fiction of penetrating by Palpatine.
Yeah, so I was saying,
like you have in Robot Chicken, you have, press P for Papa Palpatine. It's like, press P for penetrating Palpatine. Alright, okay, no more.
Yeah, so basically, when you see Luke in the original movie, he talks about he wants to join the Imperial Pilot Academy.
Yeah.
So maybe you can have like a what if where he actually does join the academy, and then it works that way.
Is that a lightsaber in your pocket? You're just happy to see me.
Well, he wouldn't know about lightsabers then, would he? Because he wouldn't have met Kenobi.
Unless he's Palpatine.
We might meet Palpatine at some point, sure.
Do it. Yeah.
And in that case, he might end up actually becoming Palpatine's apprentice. So.
I mean, the thing is, he would. But then... So... How it would have to be, say, Luke joins up, right? Becomes a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, well, not like his dad. Well, his dad was a pilot in the Republic. I forgot that.
Yeah, he was.
But it would be something would obviously have to happen to Luke, so he would start showing his potential in the Force. Something would have to happen where it's like, oh, okay, so this kid is Force sensitive. Which would then...
Well, see, the thing is remember, when you're looking at the Rebels show, they actively test the people that join the academy to see if they have any potential signs of Force sensitivity. And if they do, then they mysteriously disappear. Because remember, there was a whole plot point about it with Ezra being in the academy. Bearing in mind, they're looking for the subtle variations in the Force, like they have unusual luck, or they just have a sixth sense for danger, that sort of stuff.
But because obviously his last name being
would obviously fire off the alarm bells immediately.
Yeah, his last name. The vast majority of the Empire wouldn't know who the fuck he is. It's like Skywalker. Is that Simone?
But the upper echelons would, because they all know that Anakin Skywalker was a
yeah,
war
because
hero
it would have to obviously be like, okay, we've tested this kid, he's Force sensitive. That will work its way up the chain of command.
I think Vader would clock him a lot quicker than the Emperor would, I reckon.
What makes you say that?
I think if you put in Skywalker in a database, it's going to get flagged up. Emperor is very hands-off with stuff, unless it requires his immediate attention. It's Vader and his Inquisitors that are looking for Force sensitives.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, okay.
And they all directly follow Darth Vader, and he is their overall leader aside from the Grand Inquisitor. So they all report to him. So if they find someone they suspect of being Force sensitive, they will call the Inquisitors.
Well, the thing is, it would have to obviously be whoever's overseeing Luke at that point would be like, okay, we've tested him, he's Force sensitive. We're going to have to report it.
We're going to have to report him to the Inquisitors, which is what they do.
Yeah. Then obviously the Inquisitors are going to find out, go, okay, what's his kid's name? Skywalker. But most of the Inquisitors don't know that Vader is Anakin, do they?
They don't know that Vader is Anakin, but some of them do know that Skywalker was a Jedi, the Grand Inquisitor being the prime example. The Grand Inquisitor was a Temple Guard.
But doesn't the Grand Inquisitor know that Vader is Anakin?
I don't know exactly. I mean, it could be inferred one way or the other.
Doesn't he kind of say that in Kenobi?
Well, we know that Reva knows that he's Anakin. Whether she allowed those suspicions to go up to the Grand Inquisitor, we don't know, because she was after her own vendetta.
Grand Inquisitor, didn't he say that to Kenobi?
No, it was Reva.
Oh, she said it to Kenobi that she knows that Anakin is
Darth
Vader.
Yeah, she knows. But because she was after Anakin for her own vendetta, she would have probably kept that to herself.
But surely the Grand Inquisitor knows.
I would, considering that when Anakin attacked the Jedi Temple, he was already Lord Vader. It's quite possible that he does know.
Well, I mean, if you have some, okay, like obviously Grand Moff Tarkin knows Anakin's Vader, like he knows that.
But in Tarkin's case, he never says it out loud.
No, because he knows that Vader would fucking end him.
And it's also implied that Thrawn also does know. But again, Thrawn would never say it out in public.
It's never a good idea.
He would never voice it.
No, because
but he does know.
They know the consequences of letting... Grand Moff Tarkin and Grand Admiral Thrawn both know the consequences of even mentioning the fact that Anakin and Vader are the same person. They know the consequences.
Which is why
even though obviously Vader doesn't like Moff Tarkin. He fucking thinks he's a dick. They don't like each other. He thinks the Force is bollocks and it's a relic of the past.
Yeah, but the only reason why he takes Moff Tarkin's commands is because he respects him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he likes him.
He don't like him. He just generally doesn't like the dude.
But he respects him, which is why he hasn't murdered him. But it's kind of implied in Ahsoka that, because he didn't know that Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan, but the second he knew everything about her, and that's because he knows that Anakin and Darth Vader are the same.
Who? Thrawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows that they're the same person. So when she showed him the details, he was like, oh, shit.
So let's say there's only, 3 people in the Empire. We're not going to include her.
Yeah, because she defected and disappeared. So.
Yeah, so we're not including her. I'm still not comfortable with the fact that she found out that Anakin and Vader are the same person and Vader has done fuck all about it. I'm not comfortable with that.
Right, but but it's like, in all likelihood, he hunted her down later.
More than likely, he's going to fucking hunt that bitch.
The fact that no one else found out about what she knew implies that she either went to ground and disappeared or he killed her.
If he's not killed her, I'm going to be annoyed. It's like, yeah, the reason why he hasn't done Moff Tarkin, because Moff Tarkin is useful to the Empire.
And also, I think he's under strict commands from the Emperor that he's not allowed to anymore.
No. If he fucking lets that slip, that's the end of Tarkin. The same way as Thrawn. He's a fucking Grand Admiral and strategically...
Thrawn is a strategist. He'd keep everything he needs confidential. It's not like he's keep it confidential, but it's not like you keeping it obviously for leverage.
because he knows that there's nothing he can do to fucking stop Vader. If Vader's like, oh, so you've decided to let a few people know my true identity,
Yeah.
that's it. He's dead. There's no thinking. Did director Krennic know?
No.
So let's say
Krennic did not know, because otherwise he would know better than to try and force Vader's hand.
well, don't choke on your ambitions, director.
Yeah,
It's like,
literally.
such a dick. So let's say there's only 3 people in the Empire.
That we know of, that knew, yeah.
So we're talking Palpatine, Tarkin, Thrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only 3 people who are actually fucking useful to the Empire. Moff Tarkin, Thrawn, and obviously Palps.
And of course, obviously, we're assuming that the Grand Inquisitor would know, but he wouldn't tell anyone else.
I would say so. Yeah, the Grand Inquisitor has to know, because of what his previous occupation was. He more than likely would he have put up a fight against Anakin, or did he just immediately join him?
No, because it's implied that the reason why the Temple Guards didn't get involved when he raided the temple was because either they were turned or the Grand Inquisitor killed them. Because he was promised power.
So then,
By Palpatine.
Okay, so he probably killed all the other temple guards.
The ones that would not join him, he killed, yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones that did join him became his Inquisitors.
So, okay, we'll say to assume then there's 4 people. Palpatine, Thrawn, Tarkin, and the Grand Inquisitor. They're your only people. I mean, the Grand Inquisitor is more expendable than Moff Tarkin and Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yes.
He's fucking more expendable.
Even though he's technically more powerful. But only in the Force.
Yeah. Until Vader gets really, really fucking angry, then shit's gonna all fucking kick off.
Well, I mean, he chose death over opposing Vader, so you know that he was fucking terrified of him.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Like, if we look at the things that Vader has done in Legends, even though obviously it's not
Kenobi
canon.
series where he pulled a fucking ship out of the sky. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Oh my god, it was so fucking... I still think the best fucking scene ever of Vader is still the hallway scene. I still think that's the greatest bit of fucking cinema I think I've ever seen.
Oh, from the end of Rogue One.
Yeah, the end of
that's
Rogue One
fucking
is
amazing.
probably the greatest bit of cinema.
And the one that they had in The Mandalorian for Luke was really good as well.
The one in The Mandalorian was great, but
It wasn't as good as that one.
It didn't hit on a different level the way Vader fucking did.
Yeah, because the way it was done in Vader, it was pure menace. And
It was just there like...
Yeah.
Something's going on. The fuck is going on? But that was kind of like where people were first finding out who Vader really was.
Yeah, no.
At this point, you knew who Luke was and knew what Luke was capable of. At this point, they had no idea who the fuck Vader was and what the fuck he was capable of. And they were like, right, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Vader. This is what I'm going to fucking do to you. I remember
a hallway full of dead men.
I remember watching that with a friend of mine. She sat back. I was on the edge of my fucking seat.
Something like that.
I was literally on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, what's about to happen? And then it's like, okay, it's quiet, it's black. Oh, the breathing started. It's like, oh. It's like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then you just see that raw power of it's like, oh my fucking Christ. It is. It's just, to me, it's the greatest bit of fucking cinema I think I've ever seen.
Yes.
That scene is just so fucking epic.
Glorious.
Just the way they done Vader justice, and just to show you, like, look, this is someone who is in the Empire and he's not particularly going to be your best friend.
He's the one you don't fuck with.
This is the guy that, when all else has failed, he's the last resort.
He's also the last thing you'll ever see.
is the last thing you'll ever see. Is there's like, oh, the military's failed, everything else has failed. What do we do? Got a fucking Vader. Okay, what can he do? There's like, Palpatine's like, oh, send in Lord Vader. It's like, who the fuck is Vader? Who the fuck is he? The fuck is he gonna do? So it's like, oh, are you sending him in with like stormtroopers? No. Were you sending him in with himself? It's like, you're shitting me, right? We've had 4 fucking battalions of like 5,000, let's say, fucking stormtroopers. They couldn't do shit. Tanks, airships, and everything. They lost. What's this dude by himself gonna fucking achieve? And Palpatine's like, yeah, no worries. Just watch. And you just see him just drop out of a fucking ship, land. Obviously, like a fucking villain. And it's like, okay, what's he gonna... Oh my. And he's there, it's like... Okay, he's got a lightsaber. Okay. What's he... Oh, fucking Christ. What the fuck is he doing? And it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna fly away. Nope. And just grabs your ship. And it just crushes it in the air. It's like...
And he totally could do that.
It's like, oh fuck. So that's what he can do. So it's like,
the thing is, right, is that the thing that I think has always been missing from Darth Vader, right, is that if you've ever played the game Star Wars Force Unleashed, right, the very first game, you start on the Wookiee's home planet, Kashyyyk, and you start the game as Darth Vader. And you know those fucking weird wooden fucking plane things that they have?
oh.
When you're playing as Vader, you can pull that fucking shit and crush it and throw it. And I'm like, this is what's missing. I need this. This is Darth Vader. He's a menace. He obliterates one of their fucking huts with the Force. He's fucking crazy. Powerful.
I know Disney will never do it because, you know, family-friendly bunch of cunts. I just want one fucking thing, even if it's just a one-off movie, mini-series, I don't care. I want something where Vader is just showing off his raw power. Wasn't there something in the one of the comics, where he took on like 100 or so stormtroopers by himself and fucking wrecked house?
Oh yeah, he ruined them. It also happened when they shot down him and Palpatine's shuttle, and they were surrounded by rebels, which is where that epic quote comes from. Is the rebels are just like, you're surrounded. He pulls out his lightsaber and he just goes, all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men, and kills everyone.
Oh my god, that's what I want. It's like the way he is at the end of Rogue One. I want something just pure Vader just being a monster. Kind of like not where Vader's fully established and everyone across the galaxy knows who he is. But more of it...
So kind of like between 3 and 4, where he's more of an anomaly.
Yes. So like where you see him at the end of Rogue One and it's like you see this figure and it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is that? And then he just stands there and he fucks shit up. That's what I want. I just want something that just Vader just showing off his immense power. Being completely outnumbered and completely surrounded, but dominating the field. Just showing you are outmatched. You might outgun him, but he outpowers you.
Yeah. I reckon that's what has been missing. Well, I would say that's what's missing from most like Jedi and Sith encounters that we've had. Because I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see it from Vader, but I mean, realistically, you've got to show that these Jedi was a legitimate threat to him. They're not going to be a legitimate threat to him if they're not doing shit. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't Luke in Legends basically a demigod? Like, he's so...
Well, he's not a demigod. He is an actual god.
Like, he's so fucking powerful.
His power is broken to the point where he killed a Force god.
But doesn't... Because they don't really show you enough of Palpatine, but doesn't, again, like in Legends, Palpatine create storms using the Force?
In space, yes.
Yeah. Why can't I fucking see that?
You've also had in Legends of Luke using the Force to grab hold of a black hole and moving it. So
He does what now?
yeah,
He moves a black hole.
he force pushed a black hole. Yeah, his ship was falling into it, and he pushed the black hole away from him so they could escape.
I thought they said that nothing can escape a black hole. But apparently, looks like, yeah. Let me see about that.
Have you considered the Force?
There's like, oh, not even the speed of light can escape a black hole. And Luke's like, hold my lightsaber, bitch.
But you haven't considered the Force.
See, but that's the thing is, right? With how powerful Luke becomes in Legends, it's what Luke basically in Legends becomes what Anakin should have been.
Yes.
But because obviously Anakin's the chosen one, he'd have been far superior.
He would have been if he had reached his full potential, yeah.
Oh my god, imagine what fucking if Luke could move a black hole, what the fuck could Anakin do? Anakin was there
Well,
like,
he dominated both of the
the
ones, didn't he?
Yeah. Do you think because
But this is what I'm saying. With this new what if series that has been rumored, we could get things like this.
like a full
So, like, what would full power Anakin look like?
he could probably crush a black hole.
He could probably crush a planet just by looking at it.
If Luke could push a black hole away from him using the Force, Anakin could probably crush a black hole. Didn't Starkiller like move a planet?
No, Starkiller pulled an Imperial Star Destroyer out of the sky. But granted, it was already falling, but the point remains he still redirected it with the Force.
That's kind of like what you want. Is kind of like the way Luke is in Legends, but you want it with Anakin.
So basically, the Star Destroyer was already falling, but if it had gone on its trajectory, it would have killed his allies. So he literally just used the Force to pull it, and it caused it to crash. So people were like, "Oh yeah, no, he pulled it out of the sky." I mean, it was technically still moving, so he redirected it, but it's still fucking impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, because it's a Star Destroyer.
And also, if you're going from the Legends continuity, the power of the old Sith is insane. There are some of them, one of them in particular, could actually pull ships out of orbit. That's how powerful he was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is what they could do, Anakin it become natural. Because didn't he kind of like, obviously not what Starkiller had done, but didn't he do it where? Didn't they?
He did it.
If I'm remembering this correctly, right, wasn't it that the rebels had captured an AT-AT and they went to stand on Vader and he held it up with the Force?
Yes.
Yeah, don't fuck with Vader, dude.
He lifted it off of himself with the Force. Yeah, was it? No, it was an AT-AT.
Yeah, it was an
AT-ST.
No, I think
the smaller one, Chicken Walker.
I think it was an AT-AT.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put that past him either. To be fair.
Yeah, which is again, but if
we saw it in Rebels. He did it to a Chicken Walker.
Yeah, and if we're talking that was just Vader, if we're talking a fully matured, in-depth,
full-powered Anakin, there's nothing that can't.
Well, we know that he can, as Vader, he can pull ships down. We saw him do it in Kenobi.
Yeah.
That was a small ship,
but
he
said,
didn't seem like he struggled.
He easily bested the daughter, the father, and the son. Yeah. And they're basically like gods.
He essentially forced them to submit, yeah.
Yeah, and they, the son was like, "Oh yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do?" And he slammed into the ground. And was like, "I'm sorry, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, bitch?" And it's like, but I'm like the dark side. So it's like, I'm sorry, I don't remember fucking me giving up my throne, bitch.
I don't remember asking.
It's like, but I'm the dark side. Says who? I don't fucking remember bestowing a title upon you, monkey. I don't know why, but Anakin's now become fucking Freezer.
This is what I mean. This is why this what if is full of such potential. Because you could say, what if Anakin stuck to the ways of the Jedi and became as powerful as he was supposed to be?
Oh my god, that fucking power.
I would think that would tie into Qui-Gon not dying, because I think Qui-Gon is the only way he would reach his full potential.
Basically another what if is if Qui-Gon never died.
If Qui-Gon doesn't die, Anakin reaches his full potential, is what I'm saying.
Oh, fuck that.
Because Qui-Gon was chosen by the Force to train Anakin.
Yeah.
because Anakin needed a father figure, and that is what Qui-Gon was supposed to be. If he had lived, Anakin would not have turned to the dark side, and he would have reached his full potential easily.
And him and Padme, Luke and Leia could have lived happily ever after.
Well, I mean, he may not have even met Padme, to be fair. I mean, he would have met her in the first movie, but I don't know whether he would have met her again later. Because remember what Qui-Gon said. He said, "If the council doesn't allow him to be trained, I'm taking him. I'm leaving, and I'm going to train him anyway."
Let's say, for argument's sake, he does end up meeting her.
I mean, he would have met her in episode 1 anyway. It would have happened.
Yeah, he would have
just
met
whether he
yeah.
would have re-met her later. That we're not sure about.
I would say so, because there are probably a number of instances where her life was probably in danger, and it's like, well, there's no one else we can turn to other than Qui-Gon and Anakin. Whereas, like, the only other people they could turn to in the actual storyline is Obi-Wan and Anakin. The two best Jedis that were suited for it was Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah.
Mace and Yoda didn't get involved in that shit. So it was like, well, our only other options are Obi-Wan and Anakin. If Obi-Wan couldn't deal with it, then it's like, well, we've got no choice but to somehow contact fucking Qui-Gon. It's like, look, we need you and Anakin to go save Senator Amidala. Can you do it? And I think he would. He'd still come back. He'd be like...
and I also think that if Qui-Gon doesn't die, then Count Dooku might not become Count Dooku. Because one of the driving forces of it is that the Sith killed Qui-Gon, and they didn't bother to look into where the Sith came from. And Dooku was already disinterested in the Jedi Order already. If Qui-Gon Jinn had survived and taken Anakin with him and left the Jedi Order, I think Count Dooku would have gone with him.
Do you think he would have gone with him or not gone his own separate way and done his own thing?
I don't know, because I think part of the reason why he was against the way that the Jedi were like is because they were too involved in politics. But if Qui-Gon was absolutely 100% sure that he had found the child of prophecy, which he did believe, I think Dooku might have gone with him.
No. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have gone with him. He would have gone with him, but then he would.
I think he would have gone with him to see if the kid is what he says he is, but he might have gone his own way later.
He would have eventually gone his own separate ways, and it'd be like, right, I'll come back. So contact.
But he wouldn't have become a Sith because he became a Sith because he was still in the Jedi Order.
Yeah, I think like he would have seen the potential of Anakin and it's like, right, train the boy, contact me again when he's got to his full potential. Let me see what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Then you would have seen the return of...
I think he might have still become the Count, but I don't think he would have become a Sith. I think he would have gone home to reclaim his title still.
Yeah.
So I think he might have still become Count Dooku, but I don't think he would have become a Sith Lord.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then also you have to take into account whether Sifo Dyas would live then. Or was he already dead? Because Sifo Dyas might still live because Count Dooku is actually the one that killed Sifo Dyas.
Oh, I just thought of one and just popped into my head. If Palpatine never killed Plagueis.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was inevitable because Palpatine is a narcissist, but yeah, I mean, that would be interesting.
Well, I said the what if is just anything,
yeah,
any arse pull.
I reckon if he thought that he wasn't powerful enough to take him, maybe he would have kept him around longer. Yeah, no, I think that would be interesting.
What if Palpatine never killed Plagueis, but Plagueis ended up killing him instead?
Or maybe he tried to kill Plagueis and failed.
Yeah, so he goes to kill Plagueis, he fucks up, or as he goes to do it, he hesitates at the last second, and then Plagueis is like,
Or because remember what he said, he killed Plagueis in his sleep. So maybe he misjudged it and he wasn't asleep.
Yeah, he wasn't asleep, he was meditating. But for whatever reason, he goes to strike him down, but just as he's about to do it, he hesitates. And then Plagueis senses the hesitation in him and disposes of him It was like, well, you're no fucking good to me. You couldn't even do your sole purpose, which is to strike me down. You couldn't do that. You're no fucking good to me.
And then he would be going looking for another apprentice. But then who would he pick?
Okay, let's say Palpatine fails at killing Plagueis. Plagueis disposes of Palpatine. He takes on Maul.
Yeah. But at the same time, Maul maybe he doesn't take on Maul. Maybe he takes on Mother Talzin, because that was originally the plan.
Or let's say he takes on Maul. So Plagueis' right-hand man becomes Maul. How fucking powerful would that bitch be then?
Yeah. Because Maul was only ever trained to be an assassin. He was never trained to be a proper Sith Lord. Which is why he can't use lightning or anything like that.
Yeah, so let's say Plagueis disposes of Palpatine because Palpatine fails in killing him. He takes on Maul, but then turns Maul into an actual proper Sith Lord. Ooh.
Yeah. Maul is pretty powerful. I mean, he wouldn't be as powerful as Palpatine, obviously, but he would definitely be easier to control.
Yeah. He's easier to control because of the sheer potential that Palpatine had.
The way I see it though is that for me, I don't think he would take Maul purely on the basis that if he wants someone to act as a politician, he wouldn't want that. He would need someone who doesn't look as fucking scary as Maul does.
Okay, I mean that is a
and the
very good point.
And in the original plan, that Palpatine made, he was going to take Mother Talzin on as his apprentice, and they were going to share. They were going to share knowledge. Okay. But then he decided to steal Maul because it's easier to make his own assassin, so he made an enemy of her.
I have another one. Plagueis kills Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Plagueis corrupts Anakin, takes on Anakin.
Yeah, I mean, by the time Plagueis is killed, he's heard of the child that was found on Tatooine.
So Palpatine fails in killing Plagueis. Plagueis disposes of Palpatine. Plagueis obviously survives. He then turns Anakin to the dark side. But he turns Anakin to the dark side, but Anakin doesn't have the fight with Obi-Wan and doesn't lose his limbs. So he reaches his full potential but as a Sith Lord.
Oh, that would be quite interesting. Imagine how, Imagine how powerful Darth Vader would be then.
So think of it like
Assuming he'd still be called Darth Vader, which he probably would.
So let's say he's still called Vader, right? He still becomes Darth Vader. So Plagueis survives, kills Palpatine. Plagueis obviously knows of Anakin, hunts him down. He turns Anakin to the dark side. Anakin doesn't have the fight with Obi-Wan. At that time where obviously he was still, figuring out the dark side, they don't have that fight. He then goes off with Plagueis, learns more of the dark side, trains more in it, and reaches his full potential that he was supposed to, but as a Sith Lord, then takes on Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I reckon if he reached his full potential and then took on Obi-Wan would lose. But then when would he be taking Anakin? Would it be after he's already been trained as a knight and already formed his attachment to Padme? Would it be before that?
After.
So the corruption scene in Episode 3 between Palpatine and Anakin is him and Plagueis instead.
Yeah. So instead of it being Palpatine, it's Plagueis instead. But then that whole bit of him going off, taking on Obi-Wan doesn't happen until much later, where Anakin has started doing things as Darth Vader, but he's training more and tapping more. So he perfects the dark side more, reaches the full potential that he was supposed to achieve by as a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, he goes to look for Padme. Now, whether we could say that Padme still dies at that point, I would say no, because she's yet to have that heartache experience with Anakin.
I think the thing is that...
So you see how she basically...
The confrontation is what caused that. I mean,
Yeah.
if she's not confronting him and is learning offhand...
So he's learning from Pelagus in secrecy,
Yeah.
right?
So he's still keeping up the front of the good Jedi.
Yes. While he's learning in secrecy with Pelagus about the dark side, and then he obviously never has that whole confrontation with with Obi-Wan and Padme. Then he reaches his full potential as a Sith Lord. Then he has the confrontation with Obi-Wan.
See, I think that idea would make sense for what little we know about Plagueis. What we know about Plagueis is that he's a lot more deliberate and subtle, in that nobody even figured out that Sidious was being trained. So I think that would probably be the same approach he would use with Anakin, like you said. No one would know, because it would be very subtle.
Now, whether Anakin becomes Darth Sidious or Vader.
I would say he would still become Vader because Sidious already had his title.
What, when he was...
As soon as a Darth takes on the Apprentice, they give him their new name.
Okay, so then he still becomes Vader then.
Unless he gives him a different name. But
So let's say he...
for simplicity's sake, we say...
Yeah, let's say for simplicity's sake, he still becomes Vader. But as I said, it's all hush-hush.
Yeah, no one knows anything about anything.
No one knows fucking shit.
Which means, then, maybe, that he sends... Maybe he still recruits Dooku, because obviously I would say that Qui-Gon still dies in this case.
Okay, let's go with that.
So he'd still have... He would still either have Maul...
So most of the story plays out how it plays out.
Because when you're listening to Sidious, he's talking about how they made the plan together. So
who was it Pelagus that manipulated the Force to create Anakin? It wasn't it?
Yes, he was trying to manipulate it to create new life.
So then that everything is all still the same, but instead of it being Palpatine, it's Pelagus. But Pelagus is pure in the shadows. Doesn't go for government. Doesn't go for the Senate, Chancellor, or the Emperor.
So I'd think he would find a new governor to use as a proxy.
Yes.
A new senator, I think.
He would use...
But the senator wouldn't be his apprentice. Someone else would.
Let's say, for argument's sake, right, someone else takes over, goes for senator and chancellor, will go for Dooku. He's not the apprentice, but he's the face of everything. Pelagus obviously manipulates him.
So we still have Count Dooku leaving the Jedi Order and reclaiming his title.
Yeah, but he also ends up becoming Senator Dooku and then Chancellor Dooku. Whether Pelagus allows him to form an empire is seen to be believed. But the whole thing is, everything's being manipulated by Pelagus. But his apprentice in the background isn't Dooku, it's Anakin. But Anakin has all his limbs, but he's fully matured, full-powered Sith Lord. Anakin.
Yeah, I reckon if he fought Obi-Wan in that circumstance, he
He'd
would
fucking
annihilate
end
him.
The high ground's not even going to help him this fucking time.
The high ground isn't gonna help you when I'm gonna shoot lightning at you.
Yeah, it's over, Anakin. Oh, never mind.
Which also means he wouldn't be losing his arm because he lost that to Count Dooku.
Yeah. So that aspect of it doesn't happen.
but everything's being manipulated by Plagueis, not Palpatine.
Yeah, and then if you have that version of Anakin, there's no way that anyone would.
I mean, he would obviously eventually dispose of Plagueis because he's like, well, I've got nothing else to learn from you, and I'm fucking so more powerful than you.
Well, that's the Sith way anyway.
Yeah, he would eventually dispose of him.
Plagueis would be expecting it because that's literally the point.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing that Plagueis could do to stop a full-powered Sith Lord and fucking Vader.
No, not at his maximum potential.
His maximum potential with his limbs and everything. Like, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing anyone can fucking do.
Yeah, which also means that the person that would confront Yoda would be Anakin, and he would kill Yoda in that conflict. He wouldn't retreat. No, he would kill Yoda.
He would fucking ruin Yoda. I don't think Yoda would be up for that fucking fight.
Yoda wouldn't even have a chance.
No.
Anakin at his full potential is literally a god in the Force. There's no way.
Him at his full potential, but as a Sith Lord, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, his power would be so broken. It's unreal.
Yeah.
The only way Yoda would ever be able to compare with a version of Anakin that is at his full potential and a Sith Lord is if he was also a Sith Lord. That's the only way.
Oh, could you imagine that? Full potential Sith Lord Anakin versus Dark Yoda. Oh my god,
that'd be a really good fight.
That would be a fucking fight. Both of them at their full potential. I'm still going to put money on Annie.
Yeah, I think the problem you've got is even if Yoda goes to the dark side, because of how old he is, he's not going to be able to keep up.
No. But then, so with him disposing of Plagueis,
he would effectively become Emperor. Yeah.
So with him disposing of Plagueis, he then converts Luke to the dark side. So then you have ruling the galaxy, the Skywalkers.
I think he would make Luke his apprentice, and then he would make Leia, because she would still have been. She would have still.
So let's say he
would have corrupted. He would have corrupted them both.
He changes and creates a new Sith Order, where he has both his kids as his apprentices.
Yeah.
So
but no, because she wouldn't have been given to the Organas, because the conflict on Lucifer didn't happen.
Yeah.
So that means that they would both be with Padme.
Yeah. Now, whether Padme still leaves Anakin is more than likely she would.
I think even if she did, she wouldn't get very far, because he'd be like, yeah, but they're my kids though. So.
Yeah. And at this point, he's already corrupted Luke and Leia, and they're like, well, we're not going with you. We're staying with Dad. Then literally, I think they would basically emotionally damage her until she has no choice but to stay. It would be a loveless marriage from there. There would be like no intimacy, no nothing. It would just be they just live in hate. She just lives there hating Anakin, and he's like, "What are you fucking gonna do about it? You can leave all you want. I have the kids. The kids are mine."
Yeah. I reckon.
So that's what it'd be. Is he would,
unless she goes into hiding, which is possible, but I think he would still find them eventually.
Let's do it at that. It's he creates his own Sith Order where both his kids are his apprentices.
Well, I mean, at that point, he might deem the Sith Order unnecessary, because he's effectively said, "Well, I already control the universe now, so why does it now?"
So he's basically.
So this is my empire.
It's basically like he forms an empire, but it's not as fucked up as it is under Palpatine, because Anakin is more. At this point, he's more mature and he's not as mentally challenged. He's actually mentally stable, not unhinged, and he's a fully stable Sith Lord.
Because based on the description of the very few descriptions we have of Plagueis, he's very stately, in that he doesn't have like some kind of mental illness, which Palpatine clearly does.
Well, no, you see, like obviously the way like Anakin is so unhinged
emotionally.
Him being trained by Plagueis, he's actually very calm and level-headed, but an extremely fucking powerful Sith Lord.
Yeah, because that is basically what Plagueis is like. He's very much he's very much the type of mentor that will take the time to iron out all of the issues within a person purely because it benefits him.
Yeah, whereas obviously...
He's like, I don't need an unhinged murder machine. I need someone that can literally rule a galaxy competently.
Yeah, and that's what it would be, is he creates a new Sith Order or just doesn't have a Sith Order, but it's like, I'm Emperor, my second in commands are my kids. The fuck are you going to do about it?
Well, I mean, at that point, they would just be a royal family, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it would be the galactic fucking royal family of Anakin. Or do you think he could manipulate Padme until she basically just... She's not like a force. Obviously, she's not dark.
The thing that you have with Padme is that the version of the dark side Anakin that she sees is unstable.
But she sees a
But
stable...
because despite using the dark side, Plagueis is much more scholarly. He's much more logically minded, meaning he could reasonably argue that the best thing to do with the galaxy is to rule it, and then we can prevent any of these other atrocities occurring because we control it.
Yeah, because there'd literally be no one in a galaxy that could challenge
us. As he said in episode 3, he said, "Peace and prosperity to my new empire." He could actually achieve that if he was the emperor.
Yeah, because there's no one that could challenge him.
And he could argue that when she's talking about, so this is how, she says this is how democracy dies. He could quite easily say, but they've already decided they don't want democracy. So what do you want to do about it?
And then so it's basically like your galactic imperial family is Anakin is emperor, his empress is Padme. She's still madly in love with him, like nothing's happened. She accepts everything, and then his two minions are Luke and Leia.
I think if he puts over that the goal is to prevent more tragedies occurring, then I think he could win her over. I don't think she would be as in love with him as she is at the start, but I think she would be more cautious, but I think she would be the one keeping an eye on it. So,
in case obviously anything goes
wrong. Yeah. And I mean, because bearing in mind, and if Anakin is being educated in all of the things about the universe, which he would be if he was being instructed by Plagueis, because Plagueis would want him to be a political person. He would want that.
Mm.
So he would be aware of all of the issues that come from other worlds. Like, he knows that slavery is still legal. He knows that the Hutts are running unchecked. He knows that the Pikes are still doing spice. All of that sort of shit. So he'd know all of that.
But he would put a stop to a lot.
Sidious never got involved with it because it suited his ends. Because Sidious is a narcissist.
Yeah, whereas with Anakin, he would put a stop to a lot of that.
He would crush it because he hates slavery. He was one. So he would crush it. He would crush slavery. He would crush the Hutt Empire. He'd crush the Hutt cartel, and then he would probably go and crush spice as well, because they use indentured servants as well. So he would probably aim purely on the basis that all of these things promote slavery, and he's like, that's what happened to my mother, I'm going to eliminate it.
The thing is Emperor Vader would basically end slavery within a galaxy.
Yeah, because he would destroy them all.
Yeah, he wouldn't end it just by using being diplomatic. He's like, no, he's going to end it by using his fucking saber, and there's not a lot really you can do about it.
And I think
because I think the difference is obviously between, like, say Emperor Palpatine and Emperor Vader is Vader would be very hands on. Palpatine doesn't give a shit. He's there like, I've got other people to do all the dirty work for me. I'm just going to sit back on my fucking spinny chair and just look out of a fucking window into nothingness. Vader, I would think...
Well, I mean, the only person that Sidious has ever cared about is himself, so...
Yeah, whereas I think Vader as an emperor would be more hands-on.
Oh yeah, he'd be The thing that he was always concerned about when he was a Jedi is that they wouldn't get involved in things if it would cause a political issue. Whereas as the Emperor, he's just like, no, fuck that. I'm going to wipe it out because I can.
And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Conform with
I don't think he would force the clones into retirement because he wouldn't be doing the types of things that Sidious does that they would consider dishonourable.
The thing is, would he still keep the clones around?
I think he would because he has an attachment to them.
Yeah.
The 501st especially.
So he could still keep the whole clone program going and create a new... His empire would be more effective because stormtroopers can't hit shit. And they're fucking useless.
The problem that even though that's mostly plot device in the movies, it has some basis in the world itself because stormtroopers are trained from peasantry. They're trained to sow fear. They're not trained to be soldiers. They're trained to keep order, not fight wars.
Yeah.
Whereas the clones are built for war. That is their entire design. That's what they're for.
That's why I think he would keep Camino and he would keep I think Emperor Vader would keep the whole thing going.
Because of his attachment to his own clones, I reckon he would, yeah.
He's fucking disposing of Moff Tarkin. Like, that's
Tarkin. The problem is that he didn't have a problem with Tarkin until they ended up in the Empire because Tarkin is like he'll do anything that's just tells
now,
him.
who would be the key people in Vader's Empire? Be excluding Luke and Leia. So
I think it depends on who we could get on side.
I mean, is there anyone that would dare to fucking oppose him?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Jar Jar would be on his side. And he does. But I know what you're saying. But he does represent Naboo.
Yeah. And he loves Anakin.
Exactly. So even though Jar Jar is a fucking idiot, he would be on his side.
I think he could. I think Anakin could turn a lot of people to his side.
Purely on the basis that unlike Sidious, he's a war hero.
Yeah, he's a fully decorated fucking general.
He was a general in the Clone Wars, which means he has the clout necessary to win favour.
Yeah, and he would use that to his advantage. I think he would definitely create a far more successful empire than Palpatine.
I'm not sure how the Order 66 would go though.
Order 66 never happens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I don't think he would want to... I don't think he personally would want to eliminate the Jedi. He would wipe out the Republic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
Because of the corruption.
He could...
I think he could. Because he would be more powerful than Yoda and Mace Windu. And I think if he eliminated them both, which he would because they're a threat, he could make the Jedi do what he wanted. I think he could quite easily go, I've eliminated your Grandmaster, I've eliminated Mace Windu, I've eliminated your two most powerful Jedi, you will submit or I will destroy you.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would actually, deep down, I don't think he would want to kill them.
No.
He struggled greatly with that.
Do you think... Okay, so he kills Mace and Yoda.
Those are the two he would definitely eliminate because they are.
Do you think that would then basically the next person to effectively take over the Jedi Order
would be Kenobi?
Would be Kenobi under the guidance of Emperor Vader.
Assuming that he can get Kenobi on side.
The thing is, at this point...
But if he eliminates Yoda and Mace Windu, I think a lot of Obi-Wan's resistance would be crushed.
Yeah.
Because Anakin could quite literally say, but I've destroyed Yoda and Mace Windu. How are you going to defeat me?
No, what are you going to do? Not. So you can try and use the whole Jedi Order.
You can fight me and die, or you can do what I want.
Yeah. The thing is, I think Obi-Wan would give in to him because there's nothing Obi-Wan could do. He could try and mount in a rebellion, and that would not gonna
And
work.
also, don't forget, Obi-Wan's always had a problem with attachments himself, even though he admits that, even though he tries to pretend he doesn't.
Yeah, because the thing is instead of it being the clones doing Order 66, it would be fucking Vader himself.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't let anyone else do it.
And no, he would be like, oh, so you're going to then oppose me, are you, Obi-Wan? I've just took out Yoda and Mace Windu. What are you going to do? Mount a rebellion with the rest of the Jedi? No problem. Let's do this. So, oh, are you going to bring the no. I don't fucking need the clones. You can have 200 Jedi all you want. I'll fucking end you all myself, bitch.
Because the thing you got to remember is when he actually attacked the Jedi Temple during Order 66, he eliminated Syndrolic.
Yeah.
He's the Jedi Battle Master, which means he's the best duelist that they have, and he eliminated him.
That's what I'm saying. So,
You've got someone with the skills to eliminate the best duelist, and then you've got someone who's at their full potential, who is more powerful than Yoda and Mace Windu, and it's just you're not going to win.
The thing is, Obi-Wan would give in to him.
Because Anakin's his brother, and he'd be conflicted.
He would reluctantly give in to him. And he would basically be a puppet to Vader. And there's fuck all he can do about it.
Because he wouldn't be powerful enough to stop him.
But in this timeline, he can have Duchess Satine.
I think that's probably how he would be able to sway him.
He could sway him like that.
Assuming that they eliminated Maul. Or that Maul doesn't exist.
Maul exists, but Maul doesn't become what Maul became.
Because his driving motivation was to kill Sidious, because Sidious is the one that abandoned him.
Yeah.
But Sidious is already dead.
Yeah. So Maul doesn't become the assassin of the Empire. Well, it wasn't the Empire. He doesn't become the assassin of Sidious because Sidious has already been eliminated. He doesn't become apprentice to Vader because he's got his kids. And Maul is nowhere near to the level of Luke and Leia.
Yeah, and obviously, therefore, he wouldn't have the overriding personal hatred of Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that Vader could use Maul for is to make him Grand Inquisitor. If Emperor Vader has Inquisitors.
I reckon purely on the basis that he would need people to counter the Jedi if they did try something.
Well, I mean, he's got.
Well, the idea
he's got Luke and Leia.
But I think the idea being is that but again, you're saying that, but then he had the Inquisitors underneath him, but he could quite easily kill the Jedi on his own in the main timeline anyway.
Oh, so in other words,
the idea is that they were supposed to police the Jedi.
Okay, so
in Sidious's empire, they were used to eliminate the Jedi, but in this case, they could be used to police the Jedi.
Okay, so Emperor Vader still has them, and he can make.
But their function is different.
Yeah, and he can still have Maul, but Maul becomes Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I think
and then obviously he doesn't have that pure.
Because
hatred.
obviously he's gonna try and fight Vader, because of course he is, because that's the rule of Sith, isn't it? And he's just going to get wiped.
But he doesn't. Yeah, but Anakin's disposed of that. Now that he's Emperor, he don't need all them bullshit rules of the Sith. Because he's like, well, there isn't no one fucking powerful enough, so I don't need the rule of two because I've got 2 apprentices. So the rule of 2 is already broken. So he either creates a new Sith Order or he just disposes of everything. You know, kind of like how Luke tried to create a new Jedi Order, but then just was like, no, fuck all this shit.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Vader does the same thing, where Vader's like, I don't need a Jedi Order, I don't need a Sith Order either, I'll do as I please. So Maul becomes Grand Inquisitor, but his 2 apprentices are Luke and Leia. So effectively, if anything were to, hypothetically, happen to Vader, let's say he succumbs to an illness, he passes, the galaxy could be split between Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Until one of them kills the other.
Assuming that they would.
I think it would be natural. One would... If they can somehow coexist, they're fine. Otherwise, one will kill the other.
I think it depends on whether Padme is there or not.
Padme.
If she's still there, she would basically take on the role of the father of the ones. I reckon.
Okay, then we
Keeping the peace between the two.
But yeah, no, I think you'd be right. Is Vader would manipulate Obi-Wan and say like, look, you can lead the Jedi Order, you can be Grand Master. I will allow you to live, but you bend to my every whim and beck and call. And you can have Grand Duchess Satine. And I won't interfere in your shit. The Jedis can go about and do their business, but you're not, and I will not interfere with you unless I have to.
Yeah.
So he will make it so Obi-Wan can live a normal, comfortable life.
And I think even if he was in the dark side, I think he would do that purely on the basis that he still considers Obi-Wan to be his brother.
Yeah.
Even when he was fully immersed in the dark side and he was confronted by Obi-Wan, he wanted Obi-Wan to join him. Yeah. Even then. And that was when he was the unstable dark side that we have. That's what he wanted. He wanted Obi-Wan to join him.
But he would say to Obi-Wan, like, look, you can have your order. I won't interfere with it. But you can be Grand Master and train Jedi. I'll allow it. You can have Satine. You can have a family. Fuck, I'll even throw you a lavish wedding at the expense of the Empire.
I think his goal would be to destroy the rules that restrained him when he was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think he would do that.
And he would do that so Obi-Wan doesn't have to be bound by the Jedi Order. Obi-Wan could create a new Jedi Order like Luke did without the restrictions. So people can get emotional attachments. So all the things that they had to suffer through, they don't have to suffer through anymore. But he would say to Obi-Wan, is like, look, you name a planet, you want to live there and effectively be the ruler, go for it. I'll allow it in my empire. But he would always make sure it's like, look, step out of line, I will put you down.
Yeah.
Do not ever forget that. And that's what it would be, is he would allow Obi-Wan to have a normal, comfortable life where Obi-Wan would kind of be like how he is in Kenobi is. He would then either have a new Jedi Order where he's Grand Master on a different planet, or Obi-Wan leaves the Jedi Order, goes with Satine, takes over a planet, effectively say King and Queen. Someone else rules the Jedi Order and he allows Obi-Wan to just disconnect from the Force and just have a normal fucking life with his wife and their family. But he always say to me, you ever fucking challenge me or do anything that I don't agree with, don't think I won't hesitate to end you.
I think that would probably be how he'd be able to convince him, purely on the basis that he could quite easily say, you wanted to leave for her once. Now you can.
Yeah, now you can. I'm giving you the chance to leave the Jedi Order.
And to make a different choice.
To make a different choice and to have a normal fucking life. You want it, I'll allow it. Cross me, I will end you. No questions asked.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it would be, is he would be happy with it, but he would always look over his shoulder just in case Vader is there to put him down. And then it would be, who then takes over the Jedi Order if Obi-Wan leaves? Mace and Yoda are dead. Obi-Wan fucks off. Who's next?
Ahsoka. She was already disillusioned with the way that it was in the beginning. If he forces the changes, he could get her to come back.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, she's the only person I can think of that he would trust enough.
Yeah, I mean, what about, was it Ki-Adi-Mundi?
Ki-Adi-Mundi. Ki-Adi-Mundi is a traditionalist.
Okay, that rules him out.
Maybe possibly Kit Fisto. If Kit Fisto doesn't die. Because he wouldn't, because Order 66.
Yeah, so Kit Fisto don't die.
He's quite agreeable as a Jedi. So I reckon if it's not going to be Ahsoka, it will possibly be Kit Fisto.
He's not dead. Will Qui-Gon Jinn do it? But create his own Jedi Order the way he envisions it, where they
I thought we said that if he became Emperor, then Qui-Gon would be dead.
Did we?
He would be dead because otherwise Maul wouldn't be around, would he?
Okay, okay. Qui-Gon's alive, but they never have that interaction.
So he finds Anakin and they leave the planet before Maul finds them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but then Anakin still turns to the dark side because he ends up getting picked up and manipulated by Plagueis. Everything plays out the way we said it, but Qui-Gon's alive, and Maul becomes Grand Inquisitor, but they never have that interaction that they did. So he takes him and leaves before Maul gets there.
Yeah, I guess so.
So Obi-Wan leaves,
and Naboo would have to go out differently as well.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan leaves the Jedi Order with Satine. They fuck off, become King and Queen, or Grand Duke and Grand Duchess. Would Qui-Gon then succeed as Grand Master and create a new Jedi Order where they do things but not purely based on the light side of the Force, but they just listen to the Force?
Well, I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn has always been about the will of the Force, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He follows it regardless of where it leads.
And regardless whether it's light or dark, he goes with it.
And I think he would probably be easier to convince because he already believes that Anakin is the chosen one anyway.
Yeah, and he believes that the current Jedi Order is bullshit anyway and it's too political.
And he could quite easily say, well, balance in the Force doesn't necessarily mean that one dominates over the other.
Yeah. So, let's leave it at that. He's Emperor. Obi-Wan fucks off, has a normal life. Mace and Yoda are dead. Qui-Gon's Grandmaster of a new Jedi Order. But he will always look over his shoulder in case he steps out of line and Vader has to put him down to reassert himself. Not that he would need to, but to reassert himself and to show everyone in the galaxy, like, look.
And I think he would also be quite willing to do that because Qui-Gon is obviously his parental figure, isn't he?
Yes. So, like, look, step out of line, I'm putting you down. Don't think I won't. I will not hesitate to end you.
So, yeah, that'd be quite an interesting what if. I think that would have to be like a whole series on its own.
A whole series? Fuck me, you're gonna have to make it as long as the Clone Wars. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fucking probably pull at least 10 seasons out of your ass for that. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do that, but that's gonna go on for a hell of a long time because that's a lot of information and a lot of changes.
So what other what ifs would be interesting, do you reckon? Like maybe if
the rise of the Hutt Empire.
Yeah, no, well, I mean that
Kind of like
it wouldn't be a what if, but it would be an interesting thing to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, not a what if, but
A show showing the Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, where it would be how Jabba becomes head of the family, head of the Hutts.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because they have a long history
Yeah.
as well.
So something like that. So I mean, something that would have to be a miniseries. I want to see the in and outs of the working of the Jawa. I don't know why.
I mean, as I said to you before, I think having just Tatooine as a whole, as what it looked like before they became the Sand People, I think that would be good because I think the Jawa are from Tatooine as well. So
yeah,
I think that would be interesting because
Okay.
they hinted at it in Boba Fett, You know, when they were saying that it used to be covered in seas and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sitting there, I was thinking, oh, that would be quite interesting to see it before it became the way it was now.
Okay, so you said another what if. Okay. Another what if is Grievous isn't a cyborg.
He doesn't get injured to the point where he becomes a cyborg. Yeah,
Yes.
that could be quite interesting. And whether we don't know whether he would actually have the Force or not if he wasn't a cyborg. That could be interesting. Maybe he did. I mean, we know that he wanted it. Because he can.
It's never alluded to whether he's Force sensitive or not.
It would be difficult to determine because he's pretty much mostly cybernetic anyway, so he wouldn't have any ability to use the Force.
So that would be as if it's a what if.
I mean, technically everyone has the Force in them, but whether it's usable or not is varies, doesn't it? It could be yeah, I mean, we don't know much about Grievous. We don't know where his injuries came from. We don't know how he became the cyborg. I mean, there were versions of it from the Legends continuity, but we don't know whether they're still the same. So I think that could be an interesting one.
Yeah, it's basically Grievous doesn't become a cyborg.
What if Grievous became a Jedi?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if Maul was a Jedi?
Oh.
What if he was found by the Jedi first?
Oh, that'd be weird. I mean, the only problem is he would still look fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but that's all paint, isn't it?
Is it?
The face mask bit is all paint, yeah.
Is that not his skin?
No, they have tribal tattoos.
But isn't the red like his actual fucking skin?
The red is part of his skin, yeah. But then fucking Kit Fisto looks terrifying as fuck as well.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's okay.
You look at the guy, he looks like a villain.
That is a good point.
But he's...
Oh, could you imagine Darth Maul but with blue skin? That'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. But then what would happen to Savage and his brother, Feral?
He turns them into Jedi.
Yeah, I think Savage, we know for sure is Force sensitive, so yeah.
So
Right.
Maul becomes a Jedi and takes Savage with him.
And then Savage becomes his apprentice.
Yes.
Or his Padawan, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends on which one's older. I'm sure Maul is older.
I think
Savage wouldn't be as big as he is though, because they used Night Sister magic on him, didn't they?
Yeah. So it would kind of be.
I think it'd be interesting if he actually got trained by Dooku, but as a Jedi. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So it would be Maul gets trained by Dooku as a Jedi, and then Maul trains Savage.
Yeah.
As a Jedi.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Or maybe he goes one step further and becomes a temple guard.
Who, Maul or Savage?
More. Because then it would fit his theme of using a double-bladed lightsaber.
Okay, yeah, that works. So then Savage just goes off as a Jedi Master?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, so what about this? I just thought with this, right? Maul gets trained by Dooku as a Jedi. Maul becomes a temple guard. He trains Savage to become a Jedi. Savage trains Ahsoka.
Ooh.
So that's how we're gonna go for it. Is Dooku trains Maul. Maul trains Savage. Maul becomes a temple guard. Savage trains Ahsoka.
Ooh. Yeah, no, that would be pretty interesting. Oh shit! I just thought another what if that would be quite interesting is what if Ventress's original Jedi Master didn't die? Because remember, before she became Count Dooku's assassin, she was being trained by a Jedi.
Okay,
but
so
the Jedi was killed.
so either Savage trains Ahsoka or he trains Savage Ventress. Wait, what the fuck is she? What the fuck did she just pop back up into?
She's going to be in the new season of Bad Batch.
That's it. I couldn't think. I was like, where the fuck did I see her? It was like the new Bad Batch.
It's her as a mercenary with a yellow lightsaber, which looks pretty cool. I saw a picture of it and I was like, nice. That's pretty cool.
Okay. God.
So in this version, if they all become Jedi, maybe they resent a Jedi for maybe Mother Tolzin resents the Jedi for taking her kids, and she becomes the Sith apprentice.
But to who?
Whoever the Sith Lord is.
Jar Jar Binks.
Well, I'm assuming that the rest of it is pretty much the same, so it'd either be Plagueis or Sidious.
Jar Jar. Because that was George Lucas's original plan. It's fucking Jar Jar. We're sticking with it.
Because without Maul being there, he's got no reason to reject her proposal.
Okay, so
And that would also give her leverage to side with him because they took her kids from her.
right, another what if? The whole big war on Mandalore never happens.
Oh.
So Mandalore is basically not destroyed by themselves. So they are a thriving, prosperous planet.
Yeah, oh yeah, because they
Mandalorians.
mentioned in Clone Wars that that's what happened, didn't it? That's
Yeah.
why they lived under the bubbles, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole civil war on Mandalore never happens.
What if the...
So then obviously Boba Fett doesn't become a bounty hunter.
Ooh, okay. Wait, is Boba Fett... Django isn't a Mandalorian by birth, though.
No, but
He's trained by Death Watch, I'm sure.
Django still becomes Mandalorian
But stays a Mandalorian.
and stays Mandalorian, and Boba Fett is a Mandalorian, but you still have like Bo-Katan and all that.
No, but then the clones wouldn't exist. They'd need a new template.
We'll stick with it like that. They get a new template because it's no longer Jango Fett.
Yeah, okay, that could be interesting. What I was thinking about Mandalorian's history is what about a show focusing on the first Mandalorian Jedi? Vizsla.
That's it. I couldn't fucking think of his name. I was like, what was his goddamn fucking name? Yeah,
Tar Vizsla, I think his name is.
I think so, because isn't Pre-Vizsla the one?
Pre-Vizsla is his descendant, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Tar Vizsla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tar Vizsla is the first Mandalorian Jedi, and he's the one that had the dark saber first, and he's also the one that left the Jedi Order to become Mandalore.
Yeah.
He became the first united leader of Mandalore, I think. He became the Mandalore.
Yeah.
So I think that would be an interesting story as well.
Yeah. But
And then they could use it as an excuse to bring the Darksaber back, because Darksaber's cool.
yeah, but the whole thing is the whole Civil War never happened, so planet Mandalore and the Mandalorians are a fucking thriving entity.
Yeah, and I would say what would be interesting is if Tar Vizsla...
Say kind of like the Mandalorians thrive, but become the Star Wars version of the Saiyans.
So they go out and fight planets and stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Or they are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be... Okay, yeah, no, that would be pretty good. So instead, you'd have a galactic war, but it'd be against the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be quite interesting. And I think the whole thing with Tar Vizsla is what if he had kids that were also Force sensitive and he trained them?
There you go.
Then you have an entire sect of Mandalorians that can use the Force.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
A whole clan of Mandalorian Jedi or Mandalorian Force users.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we know that that's not what happened in the main continuity, but we're talking about what if, right? So
Yeah.
there's no reason why it can't happen. But yeah, you're saying that what would be interesting is to see Yoda, what it was like before he was a master as well, wasn't you?
Yeah, so Yoda, when he was a youngling, learning the ways of the Force and learning the ways of the Jedi, like fucking over 800 years ago because he's so old.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't need to know what species it is and all that because they'll never
let that happen.
They'll never let that happen because George would more than likely have a heart attack.
Well, I think part of their agreement with George Lucas was that they wouldn't do that. So,
but
I mean, it is Disney, so if it makes money,
Disney have kind of been not kind of Disney have been cunts about things. So Disney would still go against a lot of what, because they've already gone against a lot of things of what George said that like he didn't want to happen. Disney like, well, fuck you, we're doing it anyway because it's going to make money. Because Disney are money grabbing cunts. And they only give a shit about profit. They don't give a shit about what fans want. Hence why a lot of their current movies all fucking suck ass. Because they don't fucking listen to their fans because, you know, they're dickheads. Okay, so you see, right, I thought of one. Solo. So you know how he gets his name of Han Solo?
Yeah.
In the movie where he joins the Empire. Yeah?
Yep.
He stays in the Empire.
Oh.
So Han still becomes Han Solo, but he stays as a pilot.
He's an Imperial pilot.
He's an Imperial pilot and he stays an Imperial pilot. He doesn't leave and he becomes a fully fledged, devout Imperial pilot.
Oh, that'd be quite interesting. Because then they'd have to get another pilot to help them in the rebellion and they might not succeed that way.
Or it's going back to the earlier one we had where Anakin's Emperor, he still joins, so there is no rebellion.
Yeah.
And he still joins up in the Empire, and Anakin and Han still become friends.
Oh, you mean Luke?
No, I mean Luke, but instead he becomes friends not only with Luke, but he becomes friends with Vader. But he still meets Leia and they still fall in love, but they don't split up. So
well, he wouldn't have as much baggage, would he? So.
Yeah, so he becomes an Imperial pilot. He still becomes friends with Luke and Leia. Let's say he still gets Chewie. So he still gets Chewbacca, but Chewbacca joins the Empire. I mean, they're not going to fucking say no to an Imperial fucking Wookiee, are you? So Han's a pilot, his co-pilot is a Wookiee.
Well, I mean, considering it's Anakin, they'd probably be able to convince the Kashyyyk to join anyway, so...
I mean, he would fucking force them.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he would have to.
No, he would be diplomatic about it. So, we'll go with it like this. Han joins and becomes an Imperial pilot. He becomes fully fledged, devout to Anakin's Empire. Because Anakin's Emperor, like what we mentioned earlier, as Vader, Han still meets Luke and Leia becomes friends with them. He still has Chewie, but Chewie's a part of the Empire and becomes another Imperial pilot, but he's co-pilot to Han. He still falls in love with Leia and they still have Ben. But obviously they don't get divorced.
Yeah.
So he basically marries into the Imperial family of the galaxy.
Yeah, no, that could be.
And his best man at his wedding is Chewie.
Nice. Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be pretty interesting. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, an Imperial
Imperial Han, but he stays Imperial.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the one where he reaches his full potential but doesn't turn evil would be that Qui-Gon Jinn lives.
Oh, so Anakin.
So if Anakin reaches his full potential,
So Qui-Gon gets Anakin away before Maul turns up. Qui-Gon walks away from the Jedi Order with Anakin
and trains him,
and he reaches his full potential.
but under Qui-Gon's
Qui-Gon, but obviously he's not a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can say that.
I think that would be a logical turn of events because, as we know from the movies, Qui-Gon pretty much said that if they don't accept him, he's going to take him and train him anyway. So
let's say he does that.
Does exactly that.
Yeah.
Leaves Obi-Wan in the Jedi Order because he's already old enough to pass his trial.
Yeah. So he still becomes Master Kenobi, but Qui-Gon's left.
Yeah.
So then let's say his Padawan becomes Ahsoka.
Yeah. So originally they thought that Ahsoka was supposed to be Obi-Wan's
So
Padawan,
then,
didn't they?
let's have it like
corrected
that then. Anakin goes off with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan becomes Master Kenobi, and his Padawan becomes Ahsoka. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And then in this version of events, it's Anakin that goes after Sidious.
Oh. Oh. But does he arrest him?
He's training under Qui-Gon. He's not going to arrest him.
So is he going to do to Palpatine what Mace did, or is he just going to fucking end him?
He wouldn't be manipulated into the things that Sidious can offer him because he's already trained with Qui-Gon. He's been completely separated from it. So I reckon if he's going after Sidious, it is with the intent to kill.
So we have it as that is he goes off with Qui-Gon, Ahsoka goes under Obi-Wan, but Anakin and Qui-Gon go out. Is it just Anakin or is it Qui-Gon and Anakin goes after Palpatine?
I think it would be both. I don't think Qui-Gon would let him go on his own.
So Qui-Gon and Anakin go after Palpatine, Anakin ends Palpatine.
Yeah, I think that's how it would work. I think that is exactly how it would happen. Because Anakin would have reached his full potential. Which means he would be more powerful than the Emperor. Or, well, at that point, Sidious. He'd be more powerful than him and he'd be able to take him out.
Okay, I just thought of one. The Clone Wars never happened. So like obviously where you've got the what the fuck you call them? You had the Republic, and who were they against? I can't think. It's my mind's
Separatists.
the Separatists. That whole thing never happened. So you never have like the droids versus the clones. The whole Clone Wars never happens.
You'd have to eliminate Count Dooku though.
Dooku gets eliminated, and the whole.
So maybe when they have the confrontation between Yoda and Count Dooku, he can't run away and gets killed instead.
Yes. So then the Clone Wars never takes place.
Because while he defeats Dooku and he gets the information he wants out of him, which is who the Sith Lord is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then
That'd be quite interesting.
So then the Clone Wars never happens.
Palpatine's plan's foiled.
Yeah. Palpatine gets arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Well, I mean, he'd probably escape because he's powerful.
Let's say
he becomes the one hunted.
He gets arrested, but he escapes and he's hunted down by Qui-Gon and Anakin until he's eventually eliminated.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. In this turn of events, would it be Qui-Gon or would it be Obi-Wan?
Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon hasn't died. Him and Maul never fight. he survives. He leaves with Anakin. Palpatine's plans get foiled. Dooku's wiped out. The Clone Wars never happens. Palpatine gets arrested, put on trial, convicted, prison, escapes.
I would say in this version of events, Anakin's mother doesn't die either.
She doesn't die.
Because Qui-Gon is alive, so he would go back and be true to his word and release his mother.
Yeah. Palpatine arrested, prison, escapes, hunted by Qui-Gon, Anakin that ends him.
Yeah, I can see that happening. That'd be quite interesting. Ooh, there's one that they had in the Clone Wars. You know when he gets mind fucked by the sun. Sun shows him his future, doesn't he?
Who? Anakin.
Yeah. Shows him his future.
Yes.
So what if he remains under the thrall of the sun and he did escape the planet and went back to Coruscant with the knowledge that Sidious is Palpatine?
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean. So
he and the sun both leave the planet because they managed to repair the ship.
So So Anakin goes with the sun.
Yes.
Oh.
Because the sun corrupted him, if you remember. He showed him his future.
Right.
And
but why would the son go with him?
Because he wants to escape. Because the daughter has been killed at that point. He killed her by mistake.
Okay.
So he wants to
leave the planet. So Anakin leaves the planet with the son.
Because the son wants to dominate the universe because he's the dark side, isn't it?
Right. So then Anakin goes back to Coruscant and then
confronts Palpatine with the knowledge that he knows he's a Sith Lord. Would he be able to win if the son helps him? I think he would.
If the son, yeah, but would he go with the son to confront Palpatine, or would he go with Mace? So who is it that was with Mace Windu? It was Mace. Who were the other two Jedi that was with Mace when they confronted Palpatine?
Fuck hell. This would be before that scene, but Koff was one of them.
One of them wasn't Kit Fisto, was it?
One of them was Kit Fisto.
So let's say, right, Anakin takes the son. They go back, but the ones to confront the or Chancellor Palpatine is Anakin, Windu, and Yoda.
The thing you got to remember at this point, though, is that when he leaves the planet with the sun, he's been infected with the dark side. So he's already on the dark side.
Ah.
That's why I said him and the sun would confront Sidious.
Oh, yeah, then Sidious is fucked.
And then Anakin and the sun make the Empire.
So, okay, so...
Because the sun showed him his entire future, including the Empire.
So, Anakin and the son confront Palpatine. They eliminate Palpatine. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He obviously then leaves the Jedi Order. They create the Empire. Who's Emperor?
The son would make himself Emperor, I would assume.
Okay. So then Anakin reaches his full potential.
And then he'd probably eliminate the son immediately after that.
So the son and Anakin create an empire. Anakin reaches his full potential under the tutelage of the son. Reaches his full potential, ends and becomes emperor.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And all of this would be occurring much earlier because this takes place during the Clone Wars.
Does he end up with Padme?
I think she'd go looking for him. But the kids wouldn't even be conceived at that point. So
so she hunts down Anakin, but she's
not pregnant.
Oh. Now at this point, is he with the son or is he emperor?
I think it would still take a couple of years to be to be fully trained by the Son in all of the dark side. So
Now, does he still meet up with Padme, or does that never happen? Does she
I think he
eventually
would
give
want
up?
to, but it would depend on her, wouldn't it? Because
Does she give up eventually? Let's say she tries hunting him down for a year. Does she give up, or does she continue?
I don't think she would give up.
Does he give up, or does he meet someone else?
He wouldn't give up.
Oh. So dark side Anakin meeting up with Padme.
Yeah, because if you remember, the only time when she loses heart that he's not going to be the same is when they actually meet up and he's already on the dark side. But if he immediately eliminates Sidious and then disappears, she'd be looking for him because she wouldn't know what happened or why he did it. So she would go looking for him, but of course the twins wouldn't be born because they weren't together.
So they still meet up. Does she go with Anakin?
I think that depends on if the Son shows her the future, which he could.
But obviously,
if he shows her the future that is in store for her, I think she might.
So it would be Anakin kills the Son, becomes Emperor. Padme basically becomes Empress.
If he managed to show them both the future, yes, that's what I think would happen. Because the thing that turned Anakin was his desperation not to become Darth Vader.
But he still ends up Vader.
So he still ends up
fucking
basically Vader anyway.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so Anakin goes with the Son. He kills him, takes over as Emperor. He gets Padme. She becomes his Empress. They still have Luke and Leia, and they still get turned to the dark side.
I would say probably, yeah. But then at this point, where you got to take into consideration that Anakin wouldn't think he's on the dark side. He'd think he's in a riot.
Oh.
Because his whole goal of going with the Son would be to prevent Darth Vader and the Empire.
Well, I didn't fucking time that so well, did it?
No.
Silly prick.
Well, because the father erased his memory, didn't he?
Okay, so let's say Luke and Leia are both fully trained in the dark side, but she still fucks off and becomes a senator. Just like Mummy.
Yeah.
Oh. So Leia's already...
Well, if they go off to another planet and create their empire there, then they could technically have a senator for their empire.
And
depending on what planet they're on. Because his whole goal was to ensure that the galactic empire doesn't come. And he done that by eliminating Sidious. Before he could get into the position of ultimate power. So he wouldn't be trying to hunt the Jedi. He wouldn't be executing Order 66 or any of that.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yes, and the question would remain whether Obi-Wan would go after him or not.
I think Obi-Wan would still go after him out of his connection and see if he can still try to persuade him to come back.
Assuming that they actually managed to leave the planet at all.
But Obi-Wan gives up, obviously, once Anakin bests him. Like, through sheer dominance.
Yeah, because again, it would depend on whether Obi-Wan and Ahsoka actually managed to get off the planet, because they only had one ship.
Let's say they get off the planet. Obi-Wan goes after Anakin with Ahsoka. They fight. He doesn't kill Obi-Wan, but bests him. He doesn't chop off his limbs the same way that Obi-Wan did to him or Mustafa, but he just fucking bests him. Then Obi-Wan concedes. like, obviously, well, there's nothing I can do. You know? You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
But then he could quite easily quit back, but I haven't joined the Sith. I prevented them coming to power.
True.
Because at that point, he could then reveal to him that the reason why he eliminated Sidious or Palpatine is like, I eliminated Palpatine because he was the Sith Lord that we were looking for.
Yeah. I think we've covered enough.
Yeah.
What are we on now? 2 hours? Yeah. I think we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens. See what the future of Star Wars brings. But yeah.
Hopefully good things.
Oh God, I hope so. But you never know with fucking Disney. Especially if they got Kathleen Kennedy still fucking ruining everything. In that aspect, I have no hope. But in Dave we trust.
Yeah.
In Dave we trust. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that.